Hello everyone, this is Jackie's Movie. In this issue, we look at a movie by Clive Owen Monica. The action film, Shoot 'em Up, starring Bellucci. Smith was a mysterious professional killer, no one knew his past. This evening he was sitting on the side of the road, eating lotto and drinking coffee. Suddenly a pregnant woman ran past his eyes hugging her belly. A man with a gun was chasing after. Smith hated those who bullied the weak. He thrust a bar across and rushed to stop the man before he started using a carrot as a sharp blade to pass through his throat, saving the pregnant woman. Then a large wave of gangsters chased after them, and they also had to attack pregnant women. Smith picked up the pistol on the ground and told the pregnant woman to hide first. He would face these people by himself. He broke the gas tank on the scrapped car and rushed over quickly. With the help of the oil on the ground, he shot while sliding, smoothly solving the few people in front. Then Smith jumped on the table and broke the window to the back. One shot knocked down 4 people. At this time, the pregnant woman was about to give birth. Smith could only deliver the baby on the spot. With a cry, the child was born in a rain of bullets. Smith broke the umbilical cord with a shot and found that the outside gangs were constantly coming. He alone could not resist the enemies, picked up the pregnant woman and the child, and ran to the rooftop. It was halfway to discover that the pregnant woman had been shot and killed. Smith felt he had done what was humanly possible to help. Now that the pregnant woman was dead, there was no need for him to continue to be nosy. Just as Smith was about to leave, he heard the cry of the child. Seeing crying, the rough man was upset and sorrowful, so he couldn't bear but picking up the child and fleeing together. He fought with the gangsters chasing behind on the rooftop, then took the opportunity to jump to the opposite room and successfully escaped. A killer spotted Smith after he got out. It seemed that these people were aiming for the baby in his arms. Smith hid in the toilet, waiting for an opportunity to solve the trailing killer. When he was standing on the toilet eating carrots, the gun that fell into the toilet. Smith hurriedly detected the pistol and wiped it with toilet paper, but he still fired an empty gun after pulling the trigger. When the killer heard the noise, he shot randomly. Smith quickly slid to the other end while the opponent was changing bombs. He used a carrot to turn off the light and catch the killer from behind. The killer who was suddenly attacked shot again in the dark. The hole punched out in the door just shined on the hand dryer. Smith had a clever plan. He used one hand to stop the killer. The gun on the other hand was based on the hand tool. With a gunshot, the killer's knife was knocked to the ground, not daring to act rashly. Smith didn't kill him, he pushed the door and left. On the bus, the child kept crying. Smith saw other kids wearing hats. He took off his big woolen socks and put them on the child's head. The behavior was very heartwarming, just like being a new father. But as the killer's wandering around, Smith must not leave the child. He put the child on the turntable in the park and left. But he heard a gunshot after taking a few steps. The gang boss Hurt sniped in the distance and accidentally killed a passerby beside the child. Smith immediately took out his pistol and hit the turntable. The killer could not aim at the target, so he had the opportunity to grab the child. This hot potato made things difficult for Smith. He couldn't take this child beside or throw it away. Smith was going to find his old friend Donna to be the child's temporary mother because Donna's child was lost when she was born. So breast milk was still there and she could feed the baby. Although the conditions were right, Donna didn't want to take care of this child of unknown origin. She refused Smith, and Hertz guessed that the child must be breastfeeding. So they checked all milk powder shops and women with milk. Finally, the child was with Donna, who had an affair with Smith. At the critical moment, Smith appeared in time and pulled Hertz out of the house with a shot and knocked him down, taking Donna away. After the two left, Hertz, who had fallen, opened his eyes quietly. It turned out that the bullet hit his body armor and did not kill him. Hertz got up and called and launched 50 men to hunt down Smith. Smith took Donna to a deserted house to settle down. They found that the baby in her arms likes to listen to heavy metal music, so it is speculated that the child's mother was probably living in a noisy environment before her death. At the same time, the car parked on the side of the road had been discovered by Hertz. He took someone to sneak into the house. Smith was quick of eye and deft of hand and immediately knocked down the few who rushed. He told Donna to go downstairs in the elevator first. He held the child and killed the people in the corridor. He successfully slid to the first floor with the help of the rope that the opponent sneaked. After escaping from the chase, the two took the child to the club closest to the incident. They found many discarded diaper boxes here. He went in and asked the boss. Someone rented a room on the roof a year ago. Smith followed the boss to the door of the room and pushed in, but found out that everyone here had been killed. The executioner was the killer he let off in the toilet. Smith eavesdropped on the killer conversation and guessed the truth. It turned out that the top candidate for the president of this country was seriously ill. To survive, he sent his subordinates to use his sperm to produce offspring in batches until a suitable bone marrow transplant was found. But the gun control bill proposed by this candidate was highly regarded by the public. If he was successfully qualified for the presidency, gun manufacturers would have no profit. So this scene happened. Firearms manufacturers dealt with gangs and were ready to completely suppress the root cause. Smith had a plan when he heard the secret. He asked Donna to leave first by bus, and he would follow later. If the plan changed, Donna would take the kid to find a place to get off. As long as Smith didn't know where the child was, even if he fell into the other's hands, he wouldn't be questioned. Smith contacted the presidential candidate's bodyguard and made an appointment to meet on the plane. But when he saw the other side, he realized that it was not that simple. It turned out that the candidate knew that some people didn't want him to live. He made another deal with the gang for his profit. He asked the other party to help them find the children, and then support them after he was in position. Cautious Smith discovered the truth. He walked out the door with a gun to the head of the presidential candidate. Then he killed him in the underground warehouse, which was regarded as removing hidden dangers for the people. Then Smith prepared to parachute and escaped. He hoped he could rush back before the bus started. The opponent sent a team of elites to block. Smith turned around in the air and shot a man in the head. When he landed, the surrounding area was full of stumps. Smith was also shot and caught by Hertz. Hertz knew that leaving the child was always a hidden danger. So he tortured Smith to extract a confession, stupefied, and broke a few fingers. Smith was ironclad and refused to say anything. Just when Hertz was about to poke his eyes with a scalpel, Smith took the opportunity to crash into the opponent's head. He pulled out the scalpel and quickly knocked down the gang members around him. His finger was broken and could not shoot. Hertz felt his victory. He was holding a gun and mocking. Facing such a desperate situation, Smith launched a counterattack. He clamped 4 bullets between his fingers and placed them in front of the stove. This triggered a bullet shooting and killed Hertz. Finally, Smith got on the bus and found Donna and the child. But when they just met again, they encountered a robbery. Smith kicked off the gun from the robber. He took out a carrot and used his fingers to pull the trigger. All of a sudden, the robbers in the store fell to the ground one by one. This is the end of the video. When watching this movie, don't care about too many details and the rationality of the plot, just following the rhythm is okay. Okay, this is the end of this issue. Friends who like it, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, see you next time.